Meet this amazing woman named Kathy Jacobs, and she's 62 years old. Yes, you heard right. That's 62. And the most interesting thing is not that she was lucky with genetics. According to all the usual ideas, she should complain about her age, talk about lack of strength, and gradually reduce her activity. But instead, she looks decades younger, leads a busy life, remains energetic, confident, and is not going to set age limits on her abilities. What's more interesting is that many of her habits are accessible to almost everyone. And today, we will analyze the principles that help her maintain youth, health, and high energy levels even after 60 years. Be sure to watch it to the end because the latter principle has no less effect on the rate of aging than nutrition and physical activity combined. It will be very interesting and useful. So let's get started. The first thing to understand when studying the lifestyle of such people is that they don't perceive age as a death sentence. This may seem like simple psychology, but in fact, it conceals a powerful biological mechanism. When a person begins to consider themselves old, they gradually change their behavior. They move less, try new things less often, avoid physical activity, and begin to justify their deteriorating health by aging. The body very quickly adapts to such expectations. But if a person continues to perceive themselves as an active participant in life, they maintain a high level of engagement, which means they maintain muscle, brain, and cardiovascular function. The next important principle is an active lifestyle, but there's a nuance here. Many people imagine activity as grueling workouts, heavy exercise, or constant sports. In fact, the body thrives much more on regular movement than on occasional feats. People who stay young longer than others move frequently throughout the day. They walk more, use stairs more often, sit less, and try to find reasons to be active even in ordinary everyday activities. Research shows that prolonged sitting has a negative impact on health, even for people who regularly go to the gym. Therefore, it's beneficial not only to exercise, but also to reduce periods of inactivity. A simple rule: get up and move for at least a few minutes every 40 to 50 minutes. It may seem like a small thing, but it's these small steps that add up to long-term results. Another secret of Kathy Jacobs is time she spends outdoors. Modern people live indoors much more than nature intended. Whether it's at home, in the car, in the office, or in the store, sometimes entire days pass with virtually no contact with the natural environment. Meanwhile, spending time outdoors affects several body systems. First, it improves sleep quality. Daytime sunlight helps synchronize the body's internal clock. Second, walking reduces chronic stress. Third, fresh air promotes greater physical activity without the feeling of compulsion. People go for a walk for pleasure, but end up walking several kilometers and getting a full workout for their heart and blood vessels. Emotional resilience deserves special attention. Many people try to preserve their youth with creams, supplements, and complex diets, but completely ignore the effects of chronic stress. Yet it is constant nervous tension that accelerates the aging process. When a person lives in a state of constant anxiety, the body receives a signal that it is in an unsafe environment. Stress hormone levels rise, tissue repair is impaired, sleep is disrupted, and the risk of inflammation increases. Over time, this affects not only health, but also appearance. Another important factor is camera skills. At first glance, this seems unrelated to health, but a deeper look reveals that this skill conceals high social activity and self-confidence. A person who is not afraid to be seen interacts more often with others, makes new acquaintances more easily, and maintains an interest in life. Social connections are one of the most underestimated factors in longevity. Studies consistently show that people with an active social life live longer and are less likely to experience age-related cognitive decline. Now let's talk about a principle that distinguishes successful people in virtually every area of life. Kathy Jacobs focuses not on motivation, but on discipline. And this is a crucial distinction. Motivation is fickle. It's there today, gone tomorrow. If a person only takes care of their health when they feel like it, they inevitably face setbacks. Discipline works differently. It allows them to perform beneficial actions regardless of their mood. For example, a person might not feel like going for a walk, but discipline helps them get out of the house. Within a few minutes, energy returns, their mood improves, and their body benefits. If the decision were made solely based on motivation, the walk would never happen. The next secret is optimistic thinking. It is important to understand here that true optimism has nothing to do with denying problems. It is the ability to see opportunities even in difficult circumstances. A pessimist usually asks, "Why did this happen to me?" The optimist asks another question, "What useful things can I do next?" The difference seems small, but it determines further actions. Interestingly, optimism has a measurable effect on health. People with a more positive outlook on life are more likely to follow healthy habits, recover better from illnesses, and show higher longevity rates. The reason is simple. Their thinking pushes them to take action, not to passively wait. If we combine all the principles of Kathy Jacobs into one system, we get an interesting picture. She's not looking for a magic pill or trying to beat age in any one way. Instead, it creates daily conditions in which the body retains its functions longer. She remains active, spends a lot of time outdoors, maintains emotional stability, is not afraid of communication, relies on discipline, and looks at life with optimism. That's why the main conclusion is this: youth is rarely the result of one big decision. Much more often, it becomes the result of thousands of small actions that a person repeats day after day. But the main thing for a male is that real youth does not live in the body, but in thoughts. It manifests itself in the desire to develop, discover new horizons, laugh, love, and never stop believing in yourself. Friends, what do you think of this woman? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video that's currently appearing on your screen.